Welcome all of you to this online workshop. Today you're going to learn how to make money in trading using Dynamic Live, the first ever stock market intelligence of the world. Now earlier in the webinar, you must have seen the different benefits of having this Dynamic Live. And you've also seen the various intelligence at work, which always make sure that we get the right entries and right exit in any given market condition. But then today in this session, we will learn things in a bit more detail so that when you sit there to start your trading, now what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to think? Now what are the points that you have to remember? So these are all the points that we are going to discuss here today. The first thing, once you have subscribed to Dynamic Live and once you've got it installed, and when you open it, now this is how it is going to look. Now in this, you can go click on this favorites anytime to select your favorite stock or index, whichever you plan to trade. But anyways, now whichever script that you have selected, there are two different charts that you will be able to see as you're looking at as right now. The one on the right side, we call it as the intra-week chart, and the one on the left side, we call it as the intraday 3 chart. So these are the two different charts. And in both these charts, you can see here, there is this line. We call this line as the long signal. We call it as the long signal. Now, there are three basic things that you're supposed to learn before we try to understand the method here. But then if you're looking at the long signal in an intra-week chart, we call it as an intra-week long signal. So if you're looking at the long signal in intraday chart, we call it as intraday 3 long signal. So what are the three basic things that you're supposed to learn? Now there's a first thing that you have to learn, and that is this long signal has a character. It can change its color from red to green and from green to red. Whenever the long signal turns green, it means it is telling you to buy. It means it is telling you that the trend is up. Similarly, whenever the long signal turns red, it means it is telling you to sell and the trend is down. So just by looking at the color of long signal, you will be able to understand the trend of the price. Clear? Now, the second most important point here is zigzag cautions. Now, let me zoom in a bit. As you can see here, right at the bottom, as the price started coming down, right at the bottom, there is a green colored symbol here. Now, we call the symbol as a zigzag symbol. Now, as the price goes up, if it appears on top, it will be red in color. Now, whenever a zigzag symbol appears, it means the price can reverse. So the job of the zigzag caution here is to identify the temporary price reversals. Got it? Now, you may have a question in your mind saying that there seems to be so many symbols out there. Now, which is the symbol that we can call it to be a zigzag? Now, for that, all that you have to do is whenever any symbol appears, you can come look at the reason here. In the reason, it will be very clearly written as ID3 zigzag. ID3 means intraday 3, intraday 3 zigzag, or intra-week zigzag, because the zigzag can appear either in the intraday chart or in the intra-week chart. So if it appears on top, it will be written as intraday 3 zigzag sell signal, or if the zigzag appears at the bottom, it will be written as intraday 3 zigzag buy signal. So this is how you can identify whether it is a zigzag or not. But then once you see a zigzag symbol, it means get ready, the price is about to reverse. This is the second thing. And the third most important point here is the long signal edge point. Now you can see here the price was moving up. Now as it is moving up, it started coming down. As it comes down, at some point it comes so very closer to this long signal, and in some points it also touches the long signal. So whenever the price touches the long signal or comes very close to the long signal, we call these points to be long signal edge point. Now you may have a question in your mind saying that when it comes close, now how close can we consider it to be a long signal edge point? Now you don't have to worry. Whenever the long signal comes closer, all that you have to do is come look at this reason, and in this reason it will be very clearly written here as ID3 long signal edge or intra-week long signal edge. So wherever the edge point happens, it will be very clearly mentioned here. Now as of now, you can see here it is written as ID3 long signal edge. It means we are looking at the intraday 3 chart. The price was coming down. As it is coming down from here, from this point, you can see here the price has come very close, and at some point it has touched the long signal. Exactly the same point, a zigzag has also appeared. Now that is a long signal edge point, and it is very clearly mentioned here. So when you read it, you know that it is a long signal edge point. So whenever the price reaches a long signal edge point, it means there are chances the price can reverse once again, because instead of reversing, if the price comes below the long signal, that is when the long signal color will turn from green to red. Similarly, from the bottom, if the price goes above the long signal, then the long signal will turn from red to green. Okay, so in many cases what happens is, comes closer, it touches the long signal, it is not able to cross it beyond it, so it starts reversing in the same direction as the long signal says. Got it? So these are the points we call it as the long signal edge point, which also means the price can reverse from here. So these are the three basic things. One is the long signal in itself, the color indicate helps you understand the trend of the price. The second one being the zigzag cautions, and the third one being the long signal edge point. So these are the three things. Now let us move on to the method here. Now how do we start trading? First thing is, as it is told in the webinar, it is just the 1, 2, 3 easy steps that you have to follow here. Now the first point is, click on this favorites to select any of your favorite stock or index. Now once you have selected, now your job is to come look at this Dowmantic method level 2. And in this Dowmantic method level 2, you're supposed to check only the action information. So as of now, the action information for Nifty, it says stay tuned for the next trade. But whenever there is a clear buying opportunity, here it will be written as buy call option now. Or whenever it is written as, whenever there is a selling opportunity, it will be written as buy put option now. But then what happens after that? So when there is a buying opportunity, it will be written as buy call option now. Later it will tell you to hold your call option. It means whatever call option that you have bought, simply hold on to it. And at some point it will be written as exit call option now. That is when you can go ahead and exit your trade. Got it? Similarly, whenever there is a selling opportunity, now as it was here in this particular case, it was very clearly written as buy put option now, and later it kept on telling us to hold put option. Somewhere at this point, when it found there is a edge point, then it was very clearly written as exit put option now. Got it? So when to enter, when to exit, it will automatically tell you. You don't have to worry about it. But then whenever the action tells you to buy a call option or to buy a put option, there's one more important thing that you have to do, and that is to select the right strike price. Now you can see here, there is this pyramid pointing upward. Now whenever it tells you to buy a call option, now you can come look at this pyramid. You can pick one number out of these three. That is your right strike price. Similarly, when it is written as buy put option, now you can come look at this pyramid pointing downward. Pick one number out of these three. That is your right strike price. Got it? So these are the two things. But then out of these three, now which is the right strike price that we are supposed to pick? Now this is one question. For that you have to understand, now whenever you're trading in an index options like Nifty or Bank Nifty, or if you're trading in a stock option, now there's one important thing that you have to understand. There is this monthly contracts available for you to trade. These are the contract which has 1 month validity. These are option contracts which has 1 month validity. It normally expires on the last Thursday of every month. So in that contract, you have one entire month for you to trade. So you can split that month into three parts. The first part of the month, you can call it as the beginning of the month. The second part, you can call it as the middle of the month. And the third part, you can call it as the end of the month. So in the beginning of the month, now how do you know whether you are in the beginning or at the middle or at the end? For that, just look at the today's date. Now what is today's date? Today's date is 4th June 2020, isn't it? Now tell me, looking at the date, now which part of the month do we belong? Can anyone answer to this? Which part of the month do we belong? Beginning or the middle or at the end? Anyone? You can text it on the chat. It is 4th June 2020. So we are in the beginning of the month, isn't it? Right? So we are in the beginning of the month. So in the beginning of the month, whenever you get a opportunity to trade, whether it tells you to buy a call option or to buy a put option, the right thing to do here is select the OTM strike price. Select only the OTM strike price. Got it? So there's one thing. And then in the middle of the month, if it tells you to buy a call option or a put option, then you can trade ATM strike price. And at the end of the month, if it tells you to trade, then you can always trade the ITM strike price. So this is how easy it is for you to select the best strike price out of these three mentioned here. So there's one way. But then when you come and trade index options like Nifty and Bank Nifty, along with the monthly options, you also have weekly options to trade. So if you're trading in a weekly option, Now, if you want your trading to be very easy, effortless, without any confusion, without any panic, if you want to go about trading, then the best thing that you can do is select only the ITM strike price to trade. So as long as you can trade the ITM strike price throughout the week. Weekly option starts on a Friday, expires the next week Thursday. Got it? So this is how you can select the right strike price. So whenever the action tells you to buy a call option or a put option in whichever stock or index that you're looking at, now all that you have to do is first select the right strike price and just do the trade. Just do it. If it tells you to buy a call option, pick the right strike price and buy the call option. Or if it tells you to buy a put option, pick the right strike price and buy the put option. Now after you have entered into a trade, now wait until it is very clearly written as exit call option now or exit put option now. Only when it tells you to exit, then you can sell the option that you have already bought, so that you are exiting your trade. Got it? So this is all that you are supposed to do. Just follow what the action is telling you to do, and as long as you do that, you make money. But then along with this, there is one more simple point that you have to add, and that is, you can see here in this intra-week chart, now as the price keeps moving, there seems to be lot many symbols that keeps appearing time and again. Now these are all the symbols. It could be either a dynamic system caution, or it could be a DMBOT symbol. Now whichever symbol it is, now whenever a symbol appears in the intra-week chart, it means secure your profit. Whatever symbol appears, just secure your profits. Now how to secure your profits? Now let me give you an example. Now for that, let me show you this. Yes. So, all right. So there's a point wherein it had told us to buy a call option. It was very clearly written here as buy call option now. So when it said buy call option, at that point in time, I think I got into a 10,100 strike price call option. I bought it at around 29 rupees premium. Now after buying it at 29 rupees premium, the price started moving up. The very next day it opened with a gap up. As soon as it opened with a gap up, there seems to be a symbol on top. Right now, whenever this symbol appears, any symbol appears, we are supposed to secure our profits. Now how did I secure my profits? For that, I looked at the call option that I've already bought. I had bought it at 29 rupees. Now it was trading at 90 rupees. It was now trading at 90 rupees the very next day. So in order to secure my profit, what I did was I sold the call option that I had bought. I sold it at 90 rupees. Bought at 29 rupees. I sold it at 90 rupees. It is literally close to 61 points profit on this particular trade, isn't it? So what has happened here is, once I sold, my capital is back. I got back my capital, plus I have a 61 points profit in my hand. 61 into 75, because the lot size of Nifty is 75. It is literally close to, more than 4,250 rupees profit on this particular trade here. But then with this profit, now what I'll do here is I'll reinvest part of this profit. So out of the 61 points, I went ahead and bought another call option. I bought a 10,300 strike price call option at around 27 rupees premium. So out of the 61 points, I have reinvested 27 points. So I have literally close to 34 points still left in my hand, isn't it? So this 34 points left in my hand, this is the secured profit. This is my guaranteed profit. Nobody can touch it. It is mine, right? But then I have reinvested 27 points. Now what happens here is, from this point, if the price starts coming down, the worst thing that can happen is the 27 rupees premium can become zero. Now if the 27 rupees premium becomes zero, I don't care, because I've already secured 34 points profit here. So this trade is not a minus for me. But then instead of coming down, if the price starts increasing, then what happens is the 27 rupees premium increases further, and then it may go on beyond 40, 50, 60, or even go beyond 100. So I will be able to make more profits. So this is how I secured my profit. So this process of shifting from one strike price to another strike price in order to secure your profit, we call this process as shift over. We call it as shift over. So whenever I tell you to shift over, it means I'm asking you to secure your profits. In order to secure my profits, I'm shifting my trade from one strike price to another strike price. But remember, I was still trading the same call option. I didn't get into put option, because that becomes a different trade, isn't it? So I was still in the call option. But in this process, whatever profits that I've earned, part of the profit I have reinvested. In some cases, if the profits are very less, in such a case, then I will have to reinvest part of the initial capital. Okay, so that my risk on the trade reduces. So this is how you can shift over. So this is all that you are supposed to do. Let me repeat it once again. Understand and listen to this very carefully. Whenever the action tells you to buy a call option or a put option, pick the right strike price and just do the trade. Now, once you have entered into a trade, later if any symbols starts appearing here, then it means secure your profits, lock your profits. Now, how to lock your profits? For that, shift over, right? Now, once you have shifted over, now I shifted over at this particular point where I bought a 10,300 strike price call option at 27 rupees. But later what happened? The price started coming down. Now, as the price started coming down, yesterday at this point in time, it said exit call option and buy a put option. So when I had to exit my trade, I was able to exit the call option at around 18 rupees premium. Got it? I had bought it at 27 rupees. I exited at 18 rupees premium. So 9 points minus, but then I got back 18 rupees. So initially I had 34 points in my hand plus the 18 points remaining that I have got it back. So it is literally close to 52 points again that I am still holding in my hand, isn't it? So this is how one can go ahead and do the trade. So this is how you can secure your profit. So once you have secured your profits by shifting over, wait until it tells you to exit the call option or exit the put option. That is when you can finally exit the complete trade and wait for the next trading opportunity. So this is all that you are supposed to do. And in order to do this, first decide what is your capital. Based on your capital, select a quality stock or an index to start with. And the best way to do is trade the same script for one entire month. Either a stock or an index, trade the same script for one entire month just by following whatever it tells you to do. Keep on trading. And if you can implement it mechanically, if you can simply blindly follow this action information and implement the trades mechanically for one entire month, then we expect you to earn a minimum of 10 to 15% returns at least per month. A minimum of 10 to 15% returns at least per month. And you know that earning 10-15% returns per month is not a small thing. It is big, it is massive, isn't it? Now there are people who invest in fixed deposits to get what? Get around 5.5 or 6% returns per annum, isn't it? But then here we are talking about earning 10 to 15% returns per month, and it will be able to, you will be able to achieve it effortlessly. But then during this month, when you are implementing it, you will come across lot many trades that you have to do, and then in all these trades, you will see results like gain, gain, minus, minus, gain, gain, minus, 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 gain, gain. Or it may start off like minus, 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 gain, gain, minus, minus, gain, 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 gain. Whatever happens, just make sure that you complete the one entire month. You implement it completely for one entire month. Eventually, you will end up with a minimum of 10 to 15% returns out there. But there is one reality we all have to face, and that is when there is a couple of minus trade, people tend to panic. Now, some of you may panic. So when you panic, then what will happen is you will change to some other thing, and then when you keep trying, doing trial and error, then what will happen is end of the day, you will wind up your whole capital. So the right way to trade here is to follow some discipline, and we call this discipline as money management. Now, how to do money management? First, look at what is your capital. Whatever is your capital, utilize only 10% of your capital per trade. Now, this is how we do money management. Now, as I was telling you, I bought a call option at around 29 rupees premium here. Now, when I say 29 rupees premium, now what is the investment that is required per lot? It is the lot size. If you're trading in Nifty, the lot size is 75. 75 lot size into 29 rupees premium. We are talking about 2,175 rupees investment, isn't it? So let us assume I have lakh rupees capital, and if I have to trade now, I will utilize only 10% of this capital. So out of lakh rupees, if I utilize 10%, it is 10,000 rupees. So for 10,000 rupees allocation, what can I do here? Per lot, if I have to buy this call option at 29 rupees, per lot the requirement is 2,175, but I have 10 lots 10,000 rupees allocation here. So I can buy 4 lots, isn't it? I can buy 4 lots. So if I buy 4 lots out of 10,000, I'm still using only 8,700. But if I go for the 5th lot, my allocation has to be more than 10,000. So I will not do that. I will stick on to the 4 lots. So I am allocating only 10%. So my maximum risk on this particular trade is only that allocation of 10,000, wherein I have used only 8,700 rupees. So this is how you can go about trading. So when you do this, then what will happen? You will not have the fear of winding up the whole capital on a single trade. You will be relaxed. You know that you will be able to implement it for one entire month. Even if there are a couple of minus trades, you will still have capital to go forward. And when you complete the 1 month duration, all your capital will come to a point wherein the returns on your investment are a minimum of 10 to 15%. So this is one very easy method. Any one of you can implement it. Now, as you implement it over a period of time, what will happen is this will become a habit. Remember, profit making must become a habit. So once this becomes a habit, that is earning 10 to 15% return over a period, now you'll start thinking, now is there anything more that I can do to earn more returns? Now let me tell you, this dynamic live can be used in multiple ways to trade and earn some huge returns. It is designed for something bigger. But then today in this session, we will discuss two more different additional steps which can help you to enhance your profits further. So the first step we have already discussed, which is very easy. Any one of you can implement it. So let us move on to the second step. In the second step, we will do everything that we have discussed in the first step. But the only addition here is, whenever the action tells you to buy a call option, let us say at this point it said buy call option now, or whenever it tells you to buy a put option, before you do the trade, before you enter into a trade, check the intraday 3 long signal and intra-week long signal. So in this case, when it said buy call option now, we checked intraday 3 long signal, it was green in color. We checked intra-week long signal, that was also green in color. It means both the long signals are telling you that both the long signal are telling you that the trend is up. So in an uptrend, you are planning to buy a call option. Now that is the right way, that is the best way to trade. So no thinking, no guessing, go ahead and do the trade. Just do the trade. Got it? But then there are cases where at this point in time, yesterday it was written as buy put option. It said buy put option now. So before you do the trade, as usual, come check the intraday 3 long signal, intra-week long signal. In this case, when we check, they both were still in green. It means they both are telling you that the trend is up. But you are planning to buy a put option. Now, why will someone buy a put option? It is because you are expecting the price to decrease, isn't it? So that is the reason people think about buying a put option. But when you're planning to buy a put option, the long signals say that it is an uptrend. In this case, both the long signals were green, but in some cases, one of the long signal will be green, the other will be red. It doesn't matter. Even if any one of the long signal is against your trade, it means there is a mismatch. Do you agree? There is a serious mismatch. So when there is a mismatch, before you do the trade, there is one more thing that you have to check. Now, what is that? Now, if you're trading in Nifty, you have to go check what is happening in Bank Nifty. So when it said buy put option now in Nifty, now this was at around, what was the time? It was on 3rd June. It was on 3rd June at around 15 hours, that is 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Exactly at the same time, go check what is happening in Bank Nifty. Right? So this process, when you're trading in one script, going and checking some other script to take a decision here, this process we call it as Tenkai signals. We call it as Tenkai signal. So if you're trading in Nifty, you are going to check Bank Nifty. So Bank Nifty is the Tenkai signal for Nifty. Got it? So you will go check what's happening in Bank Nifty. Now, what will you check in Bank Nifty? Now in Bank Nifty, you just have to check, is there any zigzag at the bottom here? Or is there any edge point at the bottom here? Now the zigzag or the edge point can appear either in intraday 3 or in intra-week. It doesn't matter. In Bank Nifty, if there is a zigzag, caution, or if there is a long signal edge point at the same time, then we will avoid the trade. We will not do the trade. We will not buy this put option. But when you go check Bank Nifty and if there is no zigzag, no edge point at the same time, then we will go ahead. We will do this trade. Even if there is a mismatch, we will do this trade. Got it? So this is how we will proceed. So yesterday at around 15 hours, it said buy put option now. We saw that there is a mismatch. So we had to check the Tenkai signal. So we went and checked the Bank Nifty. So let us check what happened in Bank Nifty exactly at the same time. So you can see here, this is where the Bank Nifty was at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon and on June 3rd. You can see this, June 3rd, 15 hours. And you can see, let me zoom in so that you will be able to see it very clearly. Yes, I have zoomed in. Now you can see here. Is there any zigzag at the bottom? No, there is no zigzag. No symbol is there. Is the price touching any long signal edge point? No, it is far away. isn't it? No zigzag, no edge point in intraday 3, and at the same time, even in intra-week chart, there is no zigzag, there is no edge point, nothing is there. So since there was nothing, then we went ahead and we did the trade in Nifty. We bought the put option. Now after buying the put option, now later what happened was the price started decreasing, and as the price started decreasing, there was a edge point, and the action said exit put option now. So we exited the trade. So this was a very small trade, but then any which ways we followed it, right? So this is what we do in the second step. So whenever it tells us to buy a call option or to buy a put option, before we do the trade, check the intraday 3 long signal and check intra-week long signal. If both are in your favor, if they both are supporting you, then no thinking, no guessing, just go ahead and do the trade. But then if they both are not supporting, even if any one of these two long signal is not supporting, if there is a mismatch, then you are supposed to check the Tenkai signal. Now remember, when will we check the Tenkai signal? We will check the Tenkai signal only if there is a mismatch. Got it? Now when you go check the Tenkai signal, why do you check the Tenkai signal? It is to decide whether to do this trade or not to do this trade. So what will you check in Tenkai signal? In Tenkai signal, you will check only two things. Remember, in Tenkai signal, you are supposed to check only two things. Now, what is that? One, is there any zigzag? Or two, is there any long signal edge point? If any one of these two is there, then don't do the trade. Avoid the trade. If none of these two is there, then go ahead and do the trade. Got it? So this is how you can proceed. This is what we do in the second step. Now if you can do this, follow the second step and implement this method for one entire month. Now compared to the first step, what will happen is there will be some trades you will be able to avoid during the month compared to the first step. When you avoid certain trades, you would have seen if you did the trade, eventually it would have ended up being a minus trade. So by avoiding the trade, you have avoided some minus trades. So when you avoid the minus trade, the number of minus trades decreases. When that decreases, then the end results increase, your balance will increase, your profits will increase. So if you can implement the second step for one entire month, we expect you to earn a minimum of 20 to 25% returns at least per month. A minimum of 20 to 25% return. But remember, first step I told you minimum 10 to 15% return. Now I'm telling you 20-25% return. But these are all the minimum returns. Maximum it could be any higher number. There are months where it has given more returns. But then if it gives you more returns, you can keep it. It's all yours. You don't have to give it to me. But then minimum at least you can expect this kind of returns. Any which ways, this is the first and second step. I hope all of you have understood this. Now, once this becomes a habit, once you graduate to the second step, and if second step has also become a habit, now you will start thinking, is there anything more that I can do? In such a case, we will move on to the third step, final step, which can help us to increase our profits even further. Now, before I move on to the third step, I would like to ask you, if you have any questions or doubts in the first and second step, you can ask me right now. I'll give you a minute's time. In the meantime, I will have a sip of water. You can text your questions in the chat. Now, Manohar, I have seen your question, but then anyways, I'll come to that question at the end of the session. Just hold on. All right, looks like there are no doubts. Thank you. So let us move on to the third and final step. Now, if you have understood the second step, then third step becomes very, very easy. Okay. So what do we do in the third step? The same process as we did in the second step, only one point will be added to that. And that is, whenever the action tells you to buy a call option or to buy a put option, we will check the intraday 3 long. We will check intra-week long to see if they both are supporting. Along with that, we will also check one more thing, that is the third one, which is dynamic system. We will check what's happening in dynamic system. Now, dynamic system, what is dynamic system? Now, it is another platform like Dynamic Live. Now, but dynamic system helps you do positional trading, right? And all those people who have subscribed for this Dynamic Live, you would have got dynamic system also installed, which has been given free for a limited period of time based on the plan that you have opted for. So how to do positional trading using dynamic system? There is a very clearly defined method. Now there is a small training video on that. I will show you at the end of the session where to find this training video. But then as per the dynamic system positional trading method, we call that method as the level 2 trading method. So as per dynamic system level 2 trading method, what is the current position? Are you supposed to be holding a long position, or are you supposed to be holding a short position? This is what you are supposed to understand. Okay, this is what you are supposed to check. Now let me give you an example here. Now in the example here, now what we can do here is, you can see this at this point in time it said buy call option. Now the action said buy call option. Now we checked intraday 3 long, it was green in color, it means it is supporting. We checked the intra week long signal, it was also green in color, it was also supporting. We went ahead and checked the dynamic system level 2 trading method. Now as per that, we were supposed to be holding a long position. So all three of them, you can see here, it is pointing upward. It is telling you to hold the long position or get into a long trade. So since everything is pointing into an uptrend now, there is nothing to worry about, no thinking, no guessing, just go ahead and do the trade. So we did the trade, and the trade ended up giving us some profits, good profits, isn't it? So that was the thing. The second case here is, this is the one when it said buy put option now. So we checked the intraday 3 long signal, it was green in color, it means there is a mismatch, isn't it? Straight away, first step itself, there is a mismatch. If you checked intraday 3 long, that was also green, it was also a mismatch. If you check the dynamic system level 2 trading method, there you are still supposed to be holding a long position. Once again, that is also a mismatch. So all three of them are pointing upward, but then you are planning to buy a put option. So this is a mismatch. So when there is a mismatch, now what do you do? Can you tell me what do you do when there is a mismatch? What will you do when there is a mismatch? What did you do in the second step when there is a mismatch? Yes, when there is a mismatch, you go check the Tenkai signal, right? You go check the Tenkai signal. So in this case, since we were looking at Nifty, we go and check the Tenkai signal, that is Bank Nifty. So when we checked the Bank Nifty, we saw that there was no zigzag, there was no edge point in Bank Nifty at the same time. So we went ahead, we did the trade. We did the trade. Even if there is a mismatch, we did the trade. But there are times when there is a mismatch. When you go check the Tenkai signal, then there will be a zigzag or a edge point, then you will be able to avoid the trade. But in this case, sometimes what will happen is, when it says buy put option, now like here, or some cases like this, let us say, when it says buy put option, now we checked intraday 3 long, it was green in color. We check intra week long, that is also green in color. But when you check when you check dynamic system level 2 trading method, now as per that, you are supposed to be holding a short position. So now there will be a mismatch, isn't it? In very rare cases, you will see that you will find a mismatch only in dynamic system. In such a case, you will go check Tenkai signal, and in Tenkai signal there will be a zigzag or a edge point, and you will avoid the trade. And when you avoid the trade, next day you will see that there will be a big gap down. So by avoiding the trade, you are successfully able to avoid a big minus trade, right? So by following this third step, what will happen here is, in comparison to the first and second step, the number of minus trades will come down drastically. And when it comes down drastically, then what will happen? The returns will increase. There will be certain months in a year, you will see that the number of minus trades are literally zero when you're following this third step. So the returns will increase. So if you can implement, if you can follow and implement this third step continuously, consistently for one entire month, then we expect you to earn a minimum of 30 to 40% returns at least per month. Now 30 to 40% returns at least per month, this is not a small return, this is massive, this is big, isn't it? This is huge. And if you can keep earning 30% or 40%, let's say 30%, if you keep earning 30% returns month after month for one entire year cumulative, just think what would have happened to your investment after 1 year duration. You start with a small capital today, and at the end of 1 year, but then make sure you implement it mechanically as it is told for one entire year. And at the end of the year, you will see that your balance stands at a huge number, and you yourself will be surprised to see that. But then by then you would have already made profit making a habit in your life, and from there is absolutely no problem as far as money in your life is concerned, because you know now how to earn money effortlessly. Got it? So this is the third step. But in order to complete this third step, there is one more point that I would like to convey, and for that I have to open dynamic system. Let me open dynamic system for you. Now in dynamic system, I'll have to open a daily chart of any stock or an index. Yes. So this is the dynamic system, and you're looking at a daily chart of a Nifty. Now how to open this charts and what is what, you'll all understand this in the training video related to dynamic system, but then you don't have to worry about it. You can see here, this is the chart, and in this chart you can see these are all the price movements. These are the prices, every day's price movement. Now in this price movement, along with the price movement, you can also see there are three lines. One is a black line, we call it as P-trend. The other one is a green line, we call it as mid-trend. And the third one is a purple line, we call it as long trend. So there are these three trends. Whenever the price is trading below all three trends, it means it is in a clear downtrend. Whenever the price is trading above all three lines, it means it is in a clear uptrend. So just by looking at this daily charts and the three trends, you will be able to understand the long-term, trend of the price movement here. But then there are times where the price is trading between the three lines. You can see here, there is one phase where it is trading between the three lines. Now these are the situations, we call these situations as in between trends. We call it as in between trends. Got it? So whenever, whichever stock or index that you are planning to trade, and when you look at the daily chart of that stock or index in a dynamic system, and if it is in an in-between trend, then whatever trading opportunity you get here, if it tells you to buy a call option or a put option, for every trade you must check the Tenkai signal. Remember, please make a note of this point, very very important. You must check the Tenkai signal for every trade if the stock or index that you're trading is in a in-between trend. Got it? So this is all that you're supposed to do. This is how it completes the third step. So if you can implement this third step consistently for one entire month, we expect you to earn a minimum of 30 to 40% returns. Now this is all that you have to learn here. So this is a complete method. Actually, the third step is a complete method, just to make sure that it has been made very easy to you. So we have split this method into three parts by step 1, step 2, step 3. But then the complete method is what we call it as Dowmantic method level 2. But we have split it into three parts just to make sure it is easy for you. But whichever step that you follow, the end result will definitely be a positive, but you must implement it consistently, mechanically for one entire month. This is a condition that you have to follow. Got it? So this is all about today's session. If you have any other questions or doubts, you can ask me now. But then in the meantime, if anyone wants to go check the training videos of dynamic system and others, let me show you where to find it. For that, I'll have to open the official website of ours, that is dynamiclive.in. Now here is the official website, dynamiclive.in. In this, you can see here in the menu, it is written as members area. Just click on this menu. Click on members area, I'm sorry. Now once you have clicked on it, it will ask you for email ID and password. Now all those people who have subscribed for Dynamic Live, once your Dynamic Live is installed, you will be given a password to log into this members area. Use your credentials to log in. Now once you have logged in, there's the members area, and in this members area you can see once again there is a menu, and in this menu it is written as Training 2020. Click on it once again. Once you have clicked on it, these are all the reference training videos that you will come across. But then anyways, now if anyone wants to start, now please make a note of these videos that I am pointing towards, because these are the videos that you are supposed to watch. You don't have to watch the complete every video out there, but if you watch it, there is no problem. But anyways, if anyone wants to start learning about dynamic system from scratch, then I would like to tell you to watch this video first, that is dynamic system basic navigation, to understand how to open charts, how to open reports, what is there inside dynamic system, how to understand them. So basic navigation you will be able to learn, and after that just scroll it down a bit, and once you scroll it down, you can see here it is written as dynamic system level 2 trading method. This is a positional trading method that I was talking about. watch this video to understand the positional trading method. But before you watch it, first watch the level 1 trading method. So once you watch level 1 trading method and later if you watch level 2 trading method, then understanding level 2 trading method becomes very easy. And each of these videos is hardly for 20-25 minutes duration, and it is already there in 4 different languages to comfort you. Watch it at your leisure time to understand it very clearly. Got it? So if you can watch these 3 topic videos, then it means you have already understood dynamic system, and you watch it multiple times, it means you have already mastered it. Got it? And then later you can scroll it down. Now if any one of you is a beginner to options trading, and if you want to learn about options a bit more, then you can watch this video, options basics for beginners. Or if you are not a beginner, then you can scroll it down, and as you scroll it down, here you can see this options trading on money management for beginners. Now I would request all of you to watch this video, because in this video it is very clearly explained how to select the right strike price, how to secure your profit to shift over, and then how to do money management. Now all these points are very clearly explained here. So there's one thing, and then later if you can scroll it down. Now these are 2 videos that we have discussed already today. So today we have discussed the first step. The first step is very clearly explained in this video, dynamic live Daumantic method. You can watch it to recap things. And then the second and third step is explained in this video, Daumantic method and Tenkai signals. Now we also discussed that if you're trading in Nifty, then Bank Nifty will be your Tenkai signal. Similarly, if you're trading in Bank Nifty, then Nifty will be your Tenkai signal. You can go check Nifty to decide whether to do the trade or not to do the trade. But then if you're trading in any stock, now which will be your Tenkai signal, which script will be your Tenkai signal, now how to find it, where to find it. Now these are the things that is very clearly explained in this video. So I would recommend all of you to watch this particular video. And then even today's session is a video recorded session. Now this session will be available for you in the YouTube channel. You can go search for Dynamic Superpower Trading System in your YouTube. Then you will find our channel. In that you will find all these training videos. That is today's training video there for you to recap. So this is all about today's session. Now let us go through your questions. Now first one to answer, Bajaj Finance to Mr. Manohar says, he said Bajaj Finance, he avoided the trade due to long signal edge point in HDFC Bank. Now first thing, now Bajaj Finance, now obviously it belongs to the financial services sector now, and it also relates to the banking sector because they deal with the lending business. So banking sector, we have an index for banking sector, and that is Bank Nifty. Got it? Now let us take an example of Cipla. Now Cipla belongs to the pharmaceutical sector. There is an index for pharmaceutical sector. There is a pharma index, but then it is not yet very matured, so it is not available for you to trade or look at it. So there is no pharma index for you to really understand the complete pharma sector there. But then inside the pharma sector, there are top 10 stocks under pharma sector, out of which Sun Pharma is the #1 stock with the highest weightage. So we use the Sun Pharma to be the Tenkai signal. Got it? So we use Sun Pharma to be the Tenkai signal for Cipla. But then if you are trading in the financial service sector, then we have a very established index here, that is a Bank Nifty. So I think for Bajaj Finance, if you did not find Bajaj Finance in any other sector, then you can check by Bank Nifty itself to be your Tenkai signal. This is my opinion. Now let us check what was happening in Bajaj Finance to give you more clarity. So this is a case of Bajaj Finance, and in Bajaj Finance you can see here at this point in time. Now are you talking about this particular trade, Manohar, when intraday 3 long signal gave you a sell? Are you talking about this trade? Yes or no? All right. So when this said buy put option now, so there is a mismatch because intraday 3 long signal is green, intraday 3 long signal is red, but intra-week long signal is green. So there is a mismatch. So you have to check the Tenkai signal. So you have checked the HDFC Bank, but even if I check the Bank Nifty at the same time, in Bank Nifty, what was happening? Exactly at the same time in Bank Nifty, I think here we had this edge point, if I'm not wrong. Okay, so you would have once again avoided the trade. Any which ways you have avoided the trade, so no problem there. So this is what you could have done in Bajaj Finance. I hope I have clarified your doubt. So you have done right in avoiding the trade. So again, Mr. Raghav has asked a question here. So as we discussed, I exited M&M Finance today market opening. Is it right trade? Please confirm, because R2 value was 156.70 yesterday close. Now once again, Raghav, Mr. Raghav, you are once again comparing yesterday's closing price with the current range to value. Don't do that. That is not the right way to do that. Okay, you can take today's closing and compare with the R2 that you had noted down in the morning. So that comparison may give you some meaning, but we were not going to do that also. But yesterday's closing and comparing it with the range 2, that is not the right way. You don't have to do that because it will confuse you. Okay, but anyways, today the price opened below range 2, that is, it opened below 156.7. So you have exited it. But I hope when you exited it, before you exited, it has already touched the trend edge point. If it touched the trend edge point and later opened below range 2, then your exit is correct. But if it has not touched the trend edge point, and if you have exited at range 2, then you have exited very early. You must have waited there. No, for you, for me to give you more clarity, I think I'll have to open the chart of, which was that M&M. So let me do that. So fine, you say that it has touched the trend edge point. Fine, if it has touched the trend edge point, uh, which is a trend edge point at 164.55, has it made a high of 164.55 today? Has it made a high of 164.55 today? After making a high of 164.55, or even if it has come very close to that, and later if it came to range 2 or below range 2, that is when you must have exited the trade. Why are you checking the opening value or closing value, Raghav? You just have to understand the rule says if it touched the trend edge point and later if it comes below range to sell below value, then you can exit the trade. First thing you have to see, has it touched the trend? So you say that the trend has not touched. So if the trend has not been touched, then you will not look at range 2 at all. But let us assume it has touched the trend edge point and later starts coming down. So range 2 value, you have it. So if the price trades below range 2, I am supposed to exit. So I have already made a note of range 2 value. So today the market opens. But before it opens today, yesterday it has already touched the trend edge point, let us assume. Today if it opens below range 2, anyways it is below range 2, so I will exit. But sometimes it opens on a higher side and slowly starts coming below range 2, and the moment it trades below range 2, that is when I will go ahead and exit the trade. Got it? So this is all that you are supposed to do. All right, I hope you have understood this. Yes, Manohar, HDFC Bank is the #1 script in Nifty as well as in Bank Nifty. So, yes, but then you have the index. Index covers everything. HDFC Bank covers only HDFC Bank. Okay. All right. I hope all your questions and doubts are clarified. And if you have any other questions, you can text me now. If there are no doubts, then you can text me saying that there are no doubts. If the price is reversing without touching any trend edge point, then your exit point is range 4 or speed signal, whichever is lower. Reduce 0.5%. That will be your exit point. Today morning in the session, I also gave you the number, which will be your exit point if it does not touch your trend on top. I think for Bajaj Finance, you can check Bank Nifty itself as the Tenkai Signal, Manohar. All right, looks like there are no more questions or doubts. I hope all your doubts are clarified. Anyways, thank you all of you for joining today's session. Wish you all a happy trading and a very good evening. See you on the other side in the pre-market session tomorrow morning. Until then, good evening to all of you and thank you for joining. Mr. Vijay wants to know my 2 months P&L. All right, I showed it today morning in the pre-market session. I don't think Mr. Vijay, you have attended the pre-market session. Anyways, I will show it once again. There is no harm in it. Now here is my account file. Now you can see here as the capital started, I started with a 19,600 capital and started utilizing hardly 5-6,000 rupees per trade. The whole process started from 1st April, and then as it started and I continued my trading. Now where is it? Yes, so it was on 4th May when the month got over, and we saw that by 4th May, I'm sorry, this is not 4th May, this is 14th May. So where is 4th May? Let me check it once again. So here is 4th May. By 4th May, what happened was the balance stood at 36,359. That was the end of 1 month duration. So this capital becomes my new capital for the next month. So from here, I continue to trading. So as I continue to trading, let me scroll it down. So yesterday it was the 4th June. Not yesterday, today is 4th June, isn't it? When the complete 1 month duration was over and the balance stands at 51,659. So considering 36,000 as the capital, then it is almost close to more than 40% returns, if I'm not wrong, right? So it is 40% returns in the month of May, and now we are now on in June month. So this is how it has moved forward, Vijay. So I followed the third step. As I've told you, minimum of 30 to 40% returns can be expected. The first month gave me 70% returns, for which I'm very thankful to stock market. And then the second month, it has given me close to 40% returns. Once again, I'm very thankful for stock market. 30% capital used for trading. No, Mr. Vijay. Once again, I have traded on only one lot, wherein you can see the entry prices of most of my trades. It is between 100 to 200 rupees premium. Even if you consider 200 rupees premium, it is 4,000 rupees allocation per lot. So I have traded only one lot. So with the 36,000 rupees investment, if I have gone for 4,000 allocation, then it is somewhere close to 10 to 12% or 13% allocation that I have used. I have not used 30%. 30% I had to use just because initially my capital was very less. Initially my capital was very less. I had to go for that. So that is when that is how I followed, and I followed the third step to be very specific. Since my capital is very less, it is because I know that following the third step, the number of minus trades will be very less. So even if my allocation is a bit on the higher side, I will still survive and I will be able to make money. and I did make money, and you have seen it. So this is a success story in the month of May. Now the journey of June month has begun. Let us see. So anyways, I hope your doubts are clarified, Mr. Vijay. But anyways, Mr. Vijay, you've been asking me for this last 2 months about my results. Anyway, you are looking at the results. It has always been profit. There are many other members also who have made amazing profit. But when are you going to start? When will I see your results? Right? You people must come forward as I came forward. You have to share your results. One entire month you implemented the way I have implemented it, mechanically, blindly, without any questions, without any doubts. Just went ahead. But then, Mr. Vijay, one more point I would like to tell you. In the month of May, that is especially on 22nd May 2020, there was a weekly contract expiry date. I had to roll over my position. I missed the trade because of some other diversion. So I missed the trade. If I had done the trade, I would have got another 3,500 rupees profit in that one particular trade. If that trade was done, then this balance should have been close to 55,000, which will be close to 50% returns. Got it? But anyways, I have not done it, and this is my balance. But if anyone had followed it correctly, you would have made more. So all of you must come forward to share your success stories, whether it is this session or in the pre-market session or any session. Come share it the way I have shared it. I have also shown you my ledger statement. Today I have not taken the ledger statement. If not, all right, let me do that also. Let us see if I can show you that. No, it has. I have logged it out. But anyways, in the next session, I will try to show you my ledger statement as well, just to make sure that the details are very authentic. Okay. You're waiting for your capital 1.5 lakhs. All right, go ahead. It is your time. Take your time. Nothing to worry. But then when you start, make it sure that you have no questions once you have started. Right? All your doubts, get it clarified before you start. Once you have started, there must be no doubts. Just implement it mechanically. So thank you, members. Thank you all for joining today's session. I hope all of you are doing good, and I wish you all the very best and loads of profits. See you on the other side in the pre-market session tomorrow. Until then, a very good evening to all of you. Thank you.